Welcome back, America. We're with Rich Goldberg, former senior official, National Security Council under President Trump, and he's now a senior advisor, Foundation for Defense of Democracies. Rich Goldberg, it is my contention that not only are Biden, Blinken mostly unconcerned about Iran acquiring a nuclear missile, and they are on the precipice, but that they're funding it with $100 billion, directly and indirectly, provided by the United States administration, the Biden regime. This is traitorous as far as I'm concerned. Iran's going to have nuclear weapons. They'll be able to blackmail any country they want to. They'll be able to cut off oil passing through the Red Sea and other parts of the Middle East. It'll completely change the dynamics because they're aligned with the axis with North Korea, Russia, and China. And my children and grandchildren, everybody else is in this country, are going to suffer as a result of this. And why isn't this a top issue? Why is Joe Biden, why is Antony Blinken funding the Iranians, turning the other cheek when Iran is close to having nuclear weapons, and telling Israel, don't go on offense, whatever you do, you'll expand the war in the Middle East? Where am I wrong and what's going on?
Well, Iran is a top threat to the United States, not just to Israel. I think people forget about that. This is a state sponsor of terrorism, the world's largest state sponsor of terrorism, that is already responsible for killing hundreds of Americans. And we know they chant death to America, death to Israel, not the other way around. And the missiles you just saw a week ago raining down on Israel, 120 ballistic missiles plus the cruise missiles and the drones. Remember, they're building longer range missiles, intercontinental ballistic missiles, to partner with their nuclear weapons program to threaten the United States. That's their ultimate goal here. And so the question is, how did we get here? What is going on right now? Since Joe Biden took office, Iran has raced forward in its nuclear program. All of the acceleration of Iran's nuclear program did not come under Donald Trump and the maximum pressure campaign. It has come under Joe Biden and the maximum deference campaign to Iran. $10 billion being opened up, a waiver just renewed last month, $6 billion in the ransom payment for 5 hostages before that. The oil flowing to China, unlimited oil that the Iranians want to send to China, billions upon billions of dollars of a windfall there, and the list goes on. No working with the European allies to snap back the UN sanctions. By the way, the United Kingdom says this week they won't even put the Revolutionary Guard Corps on their terror list, and Biden says, okay with me. So what are we really doing here? The Iranians are at the 1-yard line of their nuclear weapons capability. They've just demonstrated the delivery capability in 120 ballistic missiles fired at Israel, and our response is to keep the money flowing?
Now, you're the expert on this. Wasn't there an occasion to reinstate sanctions or somehow prevent Iran from continuing building its intercontinental ballistic system, but the United States refused to enforce that, refused to target that? And aren't we doing things like that along the way, whether it's their steel industry and so forth and so on? That is, it's not appeasement, it's intentional. And Blinken, he brings in Malley, who is a special pleader. The guy's a Marxist. He's a special pleader for Iran. I mean, it's as if they're doing everything possible to ensure that Iran gets a nuclear weapon. No?
They only know one way of dealing with threats, and that is accommodation and appeasement. They do not know how to actually deter our enemies, and we've seen that for more than 3 years, and not just in the Middle East, obviously. And that's why we have multiple wars raging in the world today, with more conflicts potentially breaking out in other areas. We need to return to a peace through strength mentality. It starts with the economic and political, but also extends to our military deterrence as well. Shut down all the money spigots. You talk about the missile embargo, the drone embargo that existed at the UN Security Council. It expired in October, just 10 days after the October 7th massacre. It would have taken a letter to the Security Council to say, hey, we want this embargo to continue. But it was owed to the Iranians under the old nuclear deal. The Biden administration still holds out hope of negotiating another nuclear deal, so they let it expire 10 days after October 7th, and now we see the results of an unprecedented missile attack on Israel just last week. So you always see their actions leading to terrible consequences. Appeasement invites terrible escalation. Weakness invites conflict. It's strength that you have to project if you want to have stability and peace.
And they have sabotaged, have they not, the building relationship between Saudi Arabia and Israel, which was about to take place under the Trump administration and the Abraham Accords, where peace was breaking out everywhere. The Arab countries, the so-called moderate Arab countries, they don't have the capacity to defeat or even take on Iran. They need support with a new ally, and that was Israel, backed up by the United States. And this was the sort of defense and diplomatic mission that they were on. And more countries were preparing to join. And now Joe Biden and Blinken step in, they sabotage it. They say, look, Saudi Arabia, you can agree and should agree to have diplomatic relations with Israel, but only if Israel is willing to accept a two-state solution. So they're actually sabotaging that too, no?
Well, look at the bigger picture here. I think you're right on that one, absolutely. But it's political warfare against allies and partners and appeasement of enemies. So you start with political warfare against Saudi Arabia. You sabotage the ability to expand the Abraham Accords. You push the Saudis into a truce with Iran. You push them into the arms of the Chinese, which is a terrible outcome for the United States. And then you wonder when war breaks out in Ukraine why you can't call up the king in Saudi Arabia and say, hey, can you help us out in the energy market? Now we see them leaning into political warfare against Israel. Their objective is regime change in Israel, not regime change in Iran. While they continue to pump money into the Iranians, what do you think is going to happen if you conduct regular political warfare against your allies and appease your enemies? You're going to see 120 ballistic missiles launched against Israel the way we just did.
Well, my objective is regime change in the United States of America, and I hope we're able to do that. We'll be right back.